Hello, xin chào các bạn và chào mừng các bạn quay trở lại với channel mình là Mountain VN. Và hôm nay chúng ta sẽ tiếp tục với từ game LA Noire này. Thì hôm qua thì mình đã đăng một video về Pokemon. Thì hôm nay chúng ta sẽ xen lẫn Pokemon với lại LA Noire nhé. Nhưng mà Pokemon chỉ là phụ thôi, nên là có khi mình sẽ không ra Pokemon, mình ra liên tiếp 2-3 tập LA Noire gì đấy. Có thể thế thôi mà ok, thì đâu quan trọng là chúng ta tiếp tục với tựa game trinh thám này nào. Thì nếu như mà mình có thể hoàn thành xong cái game này thì mình sẽ chuyển sang một cái game nó gọi là nó gọi là sao ta, nó khác hơn, không phải là về game cốt truyện nữa. Tại vì mình lười chơi game cốt truyện quá. Mình dù nó hay đấy nhưng mà lười quá, tại vì lắc lắc cái lôi tờ phồi ra thế này. Thì hôm qua chúng ta đã sẽ lắc cái này này mình tí tắt bớt đồn đấy, lắc qua. Ok, thì hôm qua chúng ta đã không phải hôm qua, tập trước chúng ta đã chúng ta đang làm nhiệm vụ gì nha, ta đang làm vụ án gì nha, mình cũng không nhớ nữa. Chúng ta sẽ có cái vụ án, đúng rồi, vụ án cái gì phụ cái gì đó, cái gì tiếng Anh mình lại quên rồi. Vụ án secretary là shit.
You're free to speak to the regulars. Just don't shake them too hard.
Okay. Vụ án
You a friend of
không nhớ
Evelyn
cái vụ án
Summers?
này là vụ án
Who's
gì nữa.
asking?
Very cute. You know who's asking.
I know my rights.
You don't have any. Answer the question.
Evelyn mooches for drinks. I don't have any time for that.
Was that so hard?
Keep writing me
Thư
copper.
ký, đúng rồi, thư ký. Vụ án thư ký
What's your name?
viết thư ký của một
Mind if I
cái
ask you some
studio làm
questions,
phim.
Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Ok, tiền sử
You
phạm
have a
tội
criminal
nào?
record, Mr. McCaffrey.
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
Cái gì à? Ký tên McCraffy ngờ.
You want to save me some time, or do you want me to look up your file?
Industrial disputes, strikes, workers' rights, that kind of thing.
A regular fifth columnist. Nice to
Mẹ
meet you,
mày có mũi.
comrade.
Là dơ hết cái máy tao, chó mũi này. Ok.
You say you barely knew Evelyn?
Yes, that is correct.
Ước sơ sơ á. Nói
You're
dối
lying,
nha,
McCaffrey.
tại vì
You looked down your nose at Evelyn, but you knew her, and you have some idea of what happened.
I hope you're holding aces. I'm telling you again, I barely knew the woman.
thế thì tại sao nó lại cái gì đây?
Why would you lend her your book on metaphysics if you only knew her in passing? It was more than that. A Renaissance man like yourself, lending his books to his acolytes.
She hounded me about that goddamn book, and then she lifts it from my apartment and lies to my face that she didn't take it, as if she could even comprehend any of it.
À đúng rồi, tập trước cho mình xin lỗi tại vì cái khúc mà mình nói mình có việc lấy đồ thì mình tắt mic, xong khúc sau thì mình quên bật mic.
He's your man.
Là
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey.
người cuối trong thế nạn dân đối tượng Timmen. Đối tượng Timmen nè, Timmen từ từ đã. Nếu vậy thì đi. Lắc thế xong này.
What do you think?
Xong này lắc thế này.
Next stop has got to be the bowling alley.
Đến sân bowling nha. Sao tự nhiên nay máy mình nó phật
You can drive.
Người kia nó sắp chết rồi.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Nó mà chết thật thì Illinois này cho mình vứt mất. Rồi mình lười chơi lại.
Car 11K, Car 11 King, KGPL.
11 King.
A message from Captain Donnelly. Return to Central. Go to.
11 King, in or out? Let's not keep the man waiting, Phelps.
Thế thì về đồng trung tâm thôi. Lúc nào chả như thế. Để xem nào. Trăm. Ok. Đấy. Ok đi nào. Mình không biết tại sao nhưng mà tự nhiên hôm nay game nó ở dưới tầng. Ở dưới tầng thì đi đường này. Lộn. Đi đường kia chứ. Thật sự luôn lắc của ai đây? Mình không hiểu tại sao hôm nay nó lắc đến như thế này. Mà mình nói chung nó lắc vậy đây.
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this room.
The evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Tarleton didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick, but she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said cunt BD.
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain, we have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And follow up on Evelyn Summers. I want daily reports.
Nhưng mà chắc chắn là series lần sau thì nó sẽ không có lắc. Mình sẽ tìm những cái game mà nó mượt với cái máy của mình và một khi mà nó quay luôn mình mới quay, còn nếu không thì chắc là mình cũng không quay đâu. Thì mình đã lắc đủ rồi, cày vào đây.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Ồ, nó lắc kìa.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address for a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Apartment 6, 126 Yale Street between Ord and Alpine.
Thanks.
Thế thì chúng ta sẽ không đi đến cái chỗ bowling nhỉ? Chúng ta sẽ đi đến cái chỗ nhà của thằng
Can you drive to this one?
McCaffrey.
Where exactly are we going?
Bây giờ có đi đến chỗ
Let
bowling
me
thì
pose a
cũng...
question.
Depends. What you got to do with it?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the slammer ever found out.
Mình không biết tại sao nên nó lắc như thế này, nhưng mà chắc chắn không phải do máy mình. Mình không biết mình đang làm cái gì nữa. Căn hộ của McCaffrey. Sao mình thấy nhà nào nó cũng giống nhà nào ta? Oh wow wow. Để xem có cái có cái gì không? Bình thường nó phải có cái gì để chỉ dẫn mình lên lầu chứ. Ok thôi. Thế là chắc chắn trên lầu. Không có cái bảng để xem luôn à. Buồn cười ấy.
Doesn't look like anybody's home.
Không có ai nhà thì vô thôi. Mình có thể dùng dùng trực giác, nhưng mà thôi, ta sẽ để dành trực giác cho những cái thứ đằng sau. Đây rồi, bằng chứng đi rồi. Mày đừng có quay nó coi thằng này.
He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you going to give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon.
Cuối hành lang.
Surely we can write him up for that. A citation at least.
Cuối hành lang. Mẹ mày lừa tao. Nó là giữa cái hành lang. Thế mà mình cũng tin bà này được. Mình ngu giống bà này. Chào anh trai. Rồi. À mẹ, bà nói cuối hành lang ở trên đây. Ui trời ơi. Cái gì nó thấy mình nó cho chạy tiếp này.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Running on a hangover, McCaffrey? Sit down and we'll talk.
Ôi lắc.
I'll go get our wheels.
Xuống. Trực. Ơi từ đi xuống. Trời ơi là trời ơi. Mẹ mình cũng quen điều khiển bình thường, nhưng mà cái này nó đéo bình thường.
You a runner, McCaffrey? Stay and fight the
Lắc
good
thế
fight.
này.
Be careful. He looks dangerous.
Chỉ nó đi. Cái thằng đồng đội mình, mẹ nó còn phải đợi mình chạy lôi cục cất ra nó mới chịu đến. Tao biết nó đó rồi, Chí, nó hộ tao đi, chặn nó đi. Chặn nó.
LAPD.
Lạc quá. Tao quýnh bà giờ. Còn cái thằng kia nữa, mẹ chạy xe chạy đéo lâu ấy. Ây ôi. À, mày.
Don't make me chase you.
Vừa mới thấy cái nút mà. Đây. Mày.
McCaffrey,
Từ từ các bạn đợi mình tí.
you're under
Để
arrest on
xem
suspicion
nó
of
còn lắc không.
murdering Evelyn Summers.
Cái gì vậy? Cái gì vậy? Cái gì vậy? Vô quá thôi. Lên chức anh trai.
You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Từ. Ta
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
ta phải đến cái chỗ bowling trước nha. À không cần mẹ đến cái chỗ bowling. Mình đã có cái bằng chứng chối buộc nữa rồi thì mình nắm đầu nó thôi. Cần gì phải bowling làm gì nữa. Hoặc là nếu như mà game nó bắt mình thì mình phải đi thôi. Nó vẫn còn lắc kìa. Chó đẻ thế không biết. Giờ đi đâu? Từ đó mình phải hỏi thằng này chứ.
What now?
What now?
Help me out.
Next stop has got to be the bowling alley.
Ây trời ơi, game nó bắt mình đến cái chỗ
You're behind the
bowling.
wheel.
And where
Không một lý
exactly
do
are
nào
we going?
cả, nhưng mà thôi mình phải đi thôi, tại vì game nó bắt buộc rồi. Nhanh lên, nhanh cái chân lên, mẹ lắc thế. Từ hình như là do cái phần mềm quay nó bị gì á các bạn. Quay nó bị nhầm sorry các bạn, sorry. Mình đang chỉnh lại đồ tí, làm căng. Ây giờ mình không biết nó bị gì nữa, nhưng mà thôi chúng ta cứ tiếp tục nào. Wow, tự nhiên bây giờ mình cảm thấy mình buồn ngủ quá ta. Giờ đang là 6 giờ 25, nhưng mà mình cảm thấy hơi phê. Có thể là già rồi, sức nó yếu. Ok. Xin lỗi bạn nhé, mình mới làm tí. Làm tí đồ.
Hello, Rusty. Two on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
We're conducting an investigation, ma'am. Do you know the name Evelyn Summers?
Sounds like I should. Oh, maybe it could be Jimmy's friend.
Jimmy?
James Tiernan. He's a pin setter. One day he introduced me to a lady after work. It stuck in my mind because she was much older, too old for him.
Where can we find Jimmy, Florence?
He'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
Ok, ok.
all around.
Nào vừa mới chạy.
Tiernan! LAPD!
Dí nó nèm. Rồi lại đuổi xe. Ôi trời ơi.
There!
Các bạn đợi mình mẹ rượt đuổi với nó nha.
Dangerman.
Ok, mình đã quay trở lại. Trong lúc rượt đuổi thằng này thì mình tông dính người. Mới
Hands behind your head!
mà không sao, mình đã bắt được thằng này rồi. Mình bắt chắc cũng phải mấy chục thằng mình mới lôi ra được thằng này. Cái gì đấy?
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's got to be McCaffrey. Unless Tiernan set him up.
Tin đồn
I
ơi.
think that asshole Jameson did it, do you?
hơi phê.
Whoever did it, it wasn't that Dahlia fuck.
Nó ngủ không đủ.
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the Dahlia?
We have a list of over 200 suspects.
Đã có danh sách
His name was
200
never
nghi
on it.
phạm.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
Ok. Giờ đã sắp xong rồi. Thì nhiệm vụ này xong thì mình sẽ gặp các bạn ở nhiệm vụ tiếp theo vào trong tập tiếp theo. Chứ mà video dài quá thì nó lại gì quá. Nhưng chắc chắn hôm nay mình sẽ phải hoàn thành cái nhiệm vụ này rồi. Từ từ đã. Có lúc đó mình giết được với con muỗi. Nó là con gì ấy, không phải con muỗi.
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, Jen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young fellas.
Ông nói là thằng nào ở phòng 1, thằng nào ở phòng 2 cơ.
Only if I guarantee he walks.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you
Bạn
describe
nạn nhân nào?
your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Cho nên này thực sự thì
Keep lying to me and I'll have
Okay.
you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends?
Này thì lần cuối đi bên nhau, cay đắng nhưng không đau.
McCaffrey gave you up, Tiernan. He says he saw you go into your hotel with Evelyn.
I met Evelyn at the public library. We would read for a while and then go for a drink. Last night we went back to my hotel room and had some more to drink. I must have passed out. I woke up and she was gone.
What time was this?
Around midnight, maybe later.
And there's no one who can confirm this.
No, there isn't. I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at her once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it.
She wanted something of his.
Muốn thứ gì là muốn thứ gì?
You don't like McCaffrey, do you, Tiernan?
He's full of the common man routine, but he props up a bar like the rest of us. Evelyn thought he was going to be a great novelist. He had nothing but vitriol for her.
Ok, chứng cứ vương mặt của James Tannen.
And she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
Mày không nhớ á, mày không nhớ thì mày phải nói thôi.
If you don't give me some reason to think differently about this, Tiernan, I'm gonna have to go to the DA.
I drank half a bottle of scotch. I don't remember a goddamn thing.
Mình sai rồi. Xin lỗi anh trai.
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
We use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
Okay.
Evelyn was beaten to death with a lug wrench. We found a wrench at McCaffrey's apartment.
You see? It was McCaffrey. He had nothing but hatred for me and Evelyn.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
She always wore it. Big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
Rồi sao nó mượt thế này? Ui trời ơi, cái làm mới á, lúc thì nó mượt, lúc nó đéo mượt, cay vai. Rất mong các bạn thông cảm về cái sự việc sầm lon này. Nhưng mà nó luôn luôn có trong từng cái video của mình. Video nào cũng phải có, video nào cũng phải như vậy.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard. And what do you have that proves I was there? You're going to have to do better than that, detective.
Rồi, sai rồi. Rồi chuẩn bị chửi rồi. Ôi trời ơi, đại ca. Đại ca ơi, đừng chửi. Ủa. Là sao? What the
Operator,
hell?
give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thanks for your help.
Lại nha. Ông lại sai. Bây giờ lại nha.
You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're holding out on us, McCaffrey. What other trouble have you been in?
I was in a few labor disputes before the war. I didn't use my real name.
got the jitters again.
You're gonna need to do better if you don't want to swing for this.
I was having a political meeting in my apartment.
Cheese and crackers for the fifth columnist.
Some of these people will corroborate your story.
I won't give up names of party members.
Good. It's your funeral.
Mouthpiece tore the script off me at the grand jury. Case was thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Keep lying to me and I'll have you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends?
McCaffrey gave you up, Tiernan. He says he saw you go into your hotel with Evelyn.
I met Evelyn at the public library. We would read for a while and then go for a drink. Last night, we went back to my hotel room and had some more to drink. I must have passed out. I woke up and she was gone.
What time was this?
Around midnight, maybe later.
And there's no one who can confirm this.
No, there isn't. I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at it once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it.
She wanted something of his.
We either hang this on you or McCaffrey. You better give us something.
Well, McCaffrey's been in trouble with the law before. I mean, he always makes out it was some kind of labor dispute. But, you know, I'm not so sure.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
Come on, Tiernan. Either you killed her or she left the hotel. Why did she leave?
Look, I may have yelled at her. I was very drunk. It's hard to remember.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
No, we use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
Coroner's report says that Evelyn was killed with a wrench. I think you did it and then planted the evidence at McCaffrey's apartment for us to find.
We went to his apartment. McCaffrey was up on the roof. Evelyn stole the book. McCaffrey went crazy when he found out. He said he would put her out of her misery. He can be very cruel.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. Big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
You need me to sign some papers or something? I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
I want to make homicide. You know you made it.
We found the lug wrench that Evelyn was battered with in your apartment, and the note from her mother, and your blood-stained clothing. We have you cold, McCaffrey.
You think if I could be bothered to murder Evelyn Summers, I would be stupid enough to leave the evidence in my apartment?
I don't believe you, Grosvenor. The evidence says that you killed her.
You can prove that I wanted to kill Evelyn?
Tiernan is prepared to testify that you threatened Evelyn's life in his presence.
Self-preservation. That's understandable. Okay, I'll level with you. Tiernan killed Evelyn. He came to me for help. I listened to him, and he explained why he did it.
Tiernan went to you for help. You expect me to buy that?
That's how it went down. I told him he made a terrible mistake, but he would be throwing his life away if he went to the cops. I took his things and told him I would dispose of them.
But you didn't.
Speak to Tiernan. He'll give it up.
Hey, I gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thanks, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him with one round.
You spoken to McCaffrey? I can go? It's all been cleared up?
Not quite. We have one more question we need to ask, James. Then I think we will be done.
Sure. Go ahead.
So Evelyn passed out, and you walked out. What happened next?
I woke up in the morning, very hungover. I thought Evelyn would have come back.
I know you're lying, James. You went out looking for her. Tell me what really happened.
I don't know what you're talking about. How can you say I wasn't in that hotel room?
Where's the phone?
You wound up at McCaffrey's. You were still incredibly drunk. You passed out on his floor. It's time to tell me what really happened.
McCaffrey woke me up the next morning, and he showed me the lug wrench and the letter and the box, and he said I came in with him last night. He said that I killed Evelyn, and that it was all over the radio, and that he would protect me. And I don't know, Detective, for the life of me, I can't remember a goddamn thing. And I was angry with her. Really angry. I could have done it. It wasn't me.
Wait here.
That bum took a swipe at me. I put him down with my shaft.
You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw. It changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore! She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have.
You beat her because she stole from you, because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch.
What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her!
Grosvenor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Congratulations, boys. You bagged the fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot in the prison graveyard.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead. First platoon is in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Then we rally with the first and try for the Nambus.
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with 2 Nambus and enfilade. Mate, we can lose everyone.
Lieutenant! Get back off this fucking bridge! They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions. We only have minutes. I'm in charge here, Sergeant. Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant. What's your unit, Sergeant? We don't have time for this, Lieutenant. What's your unit, Sergeant? I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by fording the river. My orders are to reconnoiter the... I think that point is now moot. You have 10 men left. My orders are to save what's left. Move out!